Could a former NFL player and former ACC star be the next wide receiver coach at West Virginia University? Pull up a chair, sit back, relax, and let's talk about it. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Couz, and welcome into another edition of Couz's Corner. So pull that chair up and let me serve you up another shot of top-shelf college football content. In today's episode, we are talking about none other than Ryan Switzer, former University of North Carolina wide receiver, NCAA superstar, and NFL player, who just so happens to be a native of West Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia to be exact. Played his high school football at George Washington High School right there in Charleston. Now, why am I bringing this up? Some of you might be saying, well, Couz, but we already have a wide receiver coach. Well, it's being reported now, first by On3's Matt Zenitz, that Liberty is apparently planning to hire Tony Washington, West Virginia's current wide receivers coach, for the same position at Liberty. So we are probably going to be losing Washington. Now, this has been a story for about a week now, or several days at least. There's been rumors that Washington could possibly be leaving, but it's now being reported by legit national media sources. So it got me to thinking, well, who could get the guy to replace him? Well, at the end of this video, I will link to a video I did last year with some candidates to replace Gerad Parker when he left before Washington was hired. I'll link to that video. A lot of those candidates are probably still on that list, at least in my opinion. They ended up hiring Washington, who was someone I was way off the radar for me. But there's a lot of talk on social media. West Virginia fans are abuzz, wanting either Stedman Bailey or Ryan Switzer. Well, Stedman Bailey's been talked about ad nauseum, so I thought, let's talk about Ryan Switzer a little bit. And kind of, for those of you who may not know a lot about Ryan Switzer, kind of tell you who he is, and then let you know whether I think he's a good candidate for the job. And then I want to get your thoughts in the comments, too, on what you think about Ryan Switzer as a potential wide receiver coach for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Now, Ryan Switzer was a wide receiver for the UNC Tar Heels from 2013 through 2016. How he didn't end up at West Virginia, I don't know. Rumors are Coach Dana Holgorsen did not recruit Ryan Switzer very much, or at least at all. I don't know if that's true or not, but that is what I heard. But anyway, he ended up going to the University of North Carolina. The Charleston, West Virginia native is the all-time leader in UNC history in career receptions and career receiving yards. He had 243 receptions for 2,903 yards and 19 touchdowns during his time with the Tar Heels, an average of 11.9 yards per catch. But he really made his hay, and he's got it into the NFL also because of his ability to return kicks, namely punts. At North Carolina, he returned 99 punts for 1,082 yards, an average of 10.9 yards per return. And get this, folks, 7 touchdowns. That's right, 7 touchdowns in punt returns in 4 years. And, oh, by the way, 5 of those were in his freshman year alone. He had 5 punt return touchdowns in one season as a freshman at North Carolina. So just a fantastic punt returner, great athlete. And, oh, by the way, to throw some icing on the cake, he even threw 2 touchdown passes while he was a Tar Heel. So just a very, very good player, one of the all-time greats in University of North Carolina history. He went on to be drafted in the 4th round of the NFL draft by the Dallas Cowboys in 2017. In April 2018, he was traded to the Oakland Raiders, partly due to the fact that Dallas acquired former West Virginia wide receiver Tavon Austin because those guys played basically the same position. August of 2018, he was once again traded, this time to the Pittsburgh Steelers. In 2020, he was signed by the Cleveland Browns, but injuries derailed his career just really throughout. Even his rookie year with Dallas, he wasn't able to participate in all preseason camps because of an injury. He just really had injuries throughout his pro career, so he wasn't able to achieve the level he wanted, but he was able to score a touchdown in the NFL as a receiver, catching a pass from Ben Roethlisberger as a Steeler, and then also I think he returned a punt for a touchdown during his time with Dallas. But he tried his hand. He tried to finish his career with the Houston Texans in 2022, but unfortunately that did not work out. So he ultimately retired because of injury in July of 2022. A lot of you are probably thinking, Couz, he doesn't have any. Where's his coaching experience at? He just got through playing in the NFL a year or two ago. I've not seen him come up as a coach. Well, he has a little bit, and I'll tell you where that comes in, and that's actually at West Virginia during this past offseason, during summer and maybe even into fall camp. I don't know the exact timeline. He spent time working with the wide receivers at West Virginia University. So he is familiar with the staff there. He's familiar with Coach Brown. He's familiar with Chad Scott, who, oh, by the way, also happens to be a Tar Heel alum. He's familiar with a lot of the other coaches on the staff. He's familiar, obviously, with the facilities and everything. Probably has relationships with some of the players already. So that would be a plus. So it's not like they would be bringing in a complete stranger to the staff. And he does have some experience working with wide receivers. Now, it's not extensive experience, but it is some experience. Now, what is my opinion? Do I think Ryan Switzer is qualified to be the wide receivers coach at West Virginia? On paper, he's not qualified. And if I had my personal preference, there are other guys I would prefer to be the coach, guys who do have more extensive experience coaching wide receivers. However, I would not hate the hire. If Coach Brown and others feel like he's qualified and is a good enough teacher, now he's qualified as far as experience goes, but playing the game and coaching the game are two completely different things. Can he coach young men up? Can he develop young men? That's probably yet to be determined. But if Coach Brown and staff feels like he can and they want to hire Ryan Switzer, I wouldn't hate it. He's a West Virginia native. Matter of fact, I follow him on Twitter. He's still a huge West Virginia basketball fan. I know that. I'm sure he's a Tar Heel football fan at heart because that's where he played. But, hey, I'm sure he still has a love for the West Virginia Mountaineers in his heart because, like I said, he's a West Virginia guy. He grew up in West Virginia. And it's very hard not to be a West Virginia fan when you grew up in this state. I'll just be honest with you. So I'm sure there's still some of that in his blood. And I'm sure he would love the opportunity to coach wide receivers at West Virginia. So I wouldn't hate the hire. I would prefer somebody with more experience. But at the same time, I wouldn't have a problem with him giving this young man a chance if they think he can do a good job. He would probably relate to the players a lot. He would be able to also help in the return game, coach up the return guys. And, hey, there's not much better than NFL experience to recruit guys either. Guys would want to come play for him because he would be able to tell them what it's like in the NFL and kind of help get them prepared for the next level. So let me know what you think, Couz's Corner family. Do you think Ryan Switzer would be a good candidate to fill the role of wide receiver coach for the West Virginia Mountaineers football team? I want to know in the comment section. Like I said earlier in the video, there's people all over social media wanting him as the coach. Even Mike Ostie over at West Virginia Sports Now. Shout out to Mike Ostie. Go check out his work. He even put up on Twitter he would like to see Ryan Switzer get the job. If you want to support my channel here, you can do so financially by buying some merch from a merch store. Check out. There's some photos below the comment section of this video that show pictures of my merch there along the bottom. You click on one of those items, it takes you right into my merch store. You can shop there for what you want. You can get a hoodie, a ball cap, a beanie, tank tops, coffee mugs, all kinds of items over there to choose from. Go check that out. You can hit the heart thanks option right below this video. Give me a one-time donation with a comment if you like, as small or as big as you want. Also, you can become a member of my channel. Take advantage of the perks I have to offer, like contests, early access to videos, members-only content, things like that. Last but not least, you can support me absolutely 100% free, quick, and easy in 4 ways. Like this video. Share it out with your college football-loving friends. Leave that comment below like I mentioned earlier. And last but not least, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel. And, oh, by the way, guys, I now have a website, Couz'sCorner.com. Go check it out. You can pull up some videos. You can pull up some of my latest podcast content. There's a couple blog posts I've written. I'm going to have a lot more blogs to come. I'm going to hopefully have some folks that will do some writing for my site for me so that we can try to get you as much West Virginia and Big 12 content that we can muster. Couz's Corner, trying to become a legit media source, folks, not just YouTube, not just podcasting, but also in the form of written content. So go please check that out if you don't mind. Get some traffic to my website. With all that being said, I really appreciate you tuning into this video. And until the next one, Q Country Roads. West Virginia.